Alright.
Hi, we're back.
We're back again.
Yeah. And we're talking about periods and the taboo with periods this time.
Birth control.
Yeah, and it needs to be addressed,
Yeah.
really.
We just want to give you guys accurate, honest information so you can make educated decisions for yourself.
Yeah.
It takes like, I think it took like 6 months or something to like when you stop hormonal birth control for it to even like kind of start even going back, because I was put on it since I was like 13.
Yeah.
Did you ever go on it?
Well, yeah, when I was 13, I got pushed into it by my doctor because doctors are awesome pill pushers. Love that. Not helpers at all. And
some can be, but
some are amazing, and then some just want you to buy all the prescriptions you can.
at Big Pharma.
And a huge pusher on like birth controls, and I really don't believe in them. I thought maybe I was just too crazy, too sensitive, maybe I should mellow it out. But I had a sister that was also on birth control at the same time I started it, and she had physical symptoms. She would vomit every morning.
Stop.
Yeah,
because your body's like, no, you're not supposed to be taking this.
every morning she would get morning sickness, and like we would wait and we would try it.
I felt that too, like really sick.
Your body doesn't want you to take it. You shouldn't take it.
Yeah, so basically what it's doing is
it's not regulating your period at all. It's masking it.
It's rewriting who you are too. It masks you from being who you are.
And your DNA and your thought process and even your scent. It changes your scent. It changes the scents you like in other people.
Yeah, so like different, if you're on birth control versus off it, you will be attracted to different men, and different men will be attracted to you.
Yeah, so like, that's totally true.
You don't believe us? Try a little experiment with your boyfriend.
It's like, it's pheromones.
Because normally women give off these pheromones, and this is what motivates your man, ladies. This is what makes him want to do nice things for you. It's not because he loves you. Like, yes, it is maybe, but it's the pheromones.
It's the pheromones.
Yeah.
And like, also like, what's in birth control? What are the chemicals used in birth control? Does anybody really know that? When you take the pill every day, do you actually know the chemical process that's going through your body? Because if you don't, you should probably know that before you say that you're behind birth control. So if you have high pheromones and you love your boyfriend's scent and all this, and then you go off birth control, you might not like it at all. Or he might not like yours anymore. That's why there's such a high rate of divorces too.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Okay, because people are choosing their life partner with the influence of hormonal birth control, changing, you know, those aspects of who they are, who they're naturally attracted to, and who is naturally also attracted to them. So then they get married, they go off birth control to have babies, and then they're like, oh my god,
why did
I don't like his scent. They originally thought that if they had the hormones, it would just affect the reproductive organs, but it's not true. It affects everything, your brain, like everything. So
emotion, your wavelengths, your energy, your scent.
Yeah, and I think when I found on it, I was just like numb to everything.
Yeah. Well, a lot of girlfriends in high school that would take birth control so that they wouldn't get a period at all. And so like you are blocking that from coming out of you. It's meant to come out, man. Like, it's like telling yourself that you're never gonna take a shit again. Like, it has to.
Let it flow. Some people take birth control and they don't get their period, but some people are like, I still get my period, but it's not a menstrual cycle. You're bleeding once a month, but it's from the pill. Like, it's not an actual period.
You're still getting out the stuff that you're supposed to be getting out, but it's not coming on the proper cycle time that it should be. And in correlation with your cycles, you have synchronicity with other women. Oh, it's so sacred. Like, in so many different cultures, the sacredity of periods is huge. Like bleeding, it brings out self-care, it brings out rejuvenation, it brings out withdrawal of the negativities. You're literally shedding your inside uterus, and you're rejuvenating your cells. Like, it's a beautiful, amazing process, and it links and has so much to do with giving birth, which is also an amazing, amazing process that women carry.
Yeah.
It's such a It's such a gift.
And like you said before, like it's also preparing you to give birth as well.
Yeah, those cramps are like little cramps that you're gonna feel, and then there'll be more and they'll be worse, and some women may not feel as much, some women may feel terrible cramps. But I also don't believe in taking like Midol as well, because you're also, if you are having your period but you're masking it with Midol or Maxidol or any kind of painkiller, you're not allowing yourself to feel the hurt. And pain is never a bad thing. You should be able to feel your pain. You should want it to. You should be able to go inside yourself and take comfort and be relaxed and just kind of like
100%. Yeah. And like the emotional aspect of the pain too, like you have to most of the reason why you feel that pain is the emotional aspect. So if you're just masking it, it's just contributing to the problem and making it worse. So if you really sit with that pain, and I find a lot of times when I'm in pain, once you eliminate the emotional aspect, then I'm not in pain anymore, which is really cool. And you don't need Advil or any of these blood thinners or things that they're prescribing young girls to
stop their periods. Yeah. Your period is not a bad thing. You should love it, and you should be proud to have one. Self-care, babies. Give yourself some love, you know, and let yourself feel that pain. There's so many different like yoga poses, stretches, teas, natural remedies that you can do to ease your pain, but also allow yourself that time to feel and heal and rejuvenate.
I agree.
It's so passionate and beautiful. You gotta do it.
It's kind of, as women, it's what makes us what we are.
It's like womanhood. And it also, like with the emotional aspect that comes with your monthly periods, it helps you be more emotionally resilient and more emotionally mature, because you are going through all these emotional waves, and now you're learning to control them better instead of masking them and hiding them with birth control and Midol. You're going through the waves and you're just gaining so much more strength in yourself.
Yeah.
And in correlation with your cycles, you have synchronicity with other women. So you could be getting your period around the same time other women would. That's totally normal. That's a connection that you have. That's something that happens with women in waves, and it also happens and matters with the moon cycle as well.
Yeah.
In connection with the moon cycle,
have you guys ever noticed that? Well, I guess if you're not on it, you notice that your period like syncs with the moon. I think on the new moon, for me,
it's different for every woman. There's so many different moon phases, and that's when you have to use your intuition. And there's a what's that app called? Flow moon time, I think. Hold on, let me just quickly,
so you can track it.
Yeah, it's called My Moon Time, and it's like gonna track your period for you, and it'll also track like every time you have it what phase the moon is in as well. And it also relates to maybe how much acne you get, maybe how much emotion you have that time, maybe how much pain you're in. Like it all like connects as well.
Another thing is too, is when you're tracking that, like even though it is like great that I know like people like wouldn't want to go off birth control because they don't want to get pregnant, obviously.
Okay, so birth control's off the table, so then how do I not get pregnant? How do I still want to like have sex and be passionate? Like that is something I'm still working out, and I've been jerking out my whole life because I've never been on birth control. So I'm still like understanding that about myself too, but
there are other methods though. I mean, kombucha. And when you're like tracking when your cycles, you're only fertile for, I think it's like between 3 and 5 days. Don't quote me on that, I'm not a doctor, but so if you're aware of that, then it's a very short time where you actually are at risk of being pregnant. You just don't have sex on those days.
But I mean,
you'd have to get really good at it. I'm just saying, if
don't have sex.
Don't. I mean, the only way to prevent yourself from getting pregnant is to not have sex. But I also think that maybe because women are on birth control, it makes them not have to really think about the men that they're having sex with as well. So that impacts too.
And then let's say you did get pregnant, and I know there's a lot of beliefs and a lot of different opinions on abortions.
What's your opinion on it?
I don't believe that you are killing a soul by having an abortion. I believe that
you can't kill a soul.
No, you
It'd just be the human body.
You can't kill the soul. You can't kill a soul.
You literally can't.
You can't. And
so it'd just be the flesh body.
And I believe that.
But people get so attached
special
to it.
souls, these little babies, they're coming from you, and that soul is meant to come through you. And if you are saying to yourself, oh, I'm not ready for this, I don't want this,
the baby's gonna hear that too, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you the amount of love and support that I can give you now. I'm still going through my own journey. It's not like you don't want it. It's not like you're giving it hate. You might love it, but it's not the time yet. And that baby does hear it. It does hear that. Your body hears you say that. Your body tells it as well. Your your chemistry in your body will change. And
that's really true. They can see that even when kids are birthed, if the mom is in stress during the time of pregnancy, you can see that in birth defects in children. If the child was truly not wanted, sometimes there are like defects. Decision.
It's all your decision, but that's what I really believe when it comes down to birth control. I mean,
there's also the barrier method too. Like, you should be wearing condoms anyways. They protect you from STDs. If you're having sex, you should be using condoms.
You don't even know who has one or who doesn't. They might not have anything funky out there. They don't need you. Men don't have any symptoms. They don't get symptoms. Yeah, I would use a condom.
I would use always use condoms. But, you know, if you're scared on top of that, then you can also add in your knowledge of when you're fertile or not.
Yeah,
although the problem is when women are fertile, that's when the time when they want sex.
Yeah, that's when it's horniest, unfortunately. That's why condoms work so
to
well.
Reproduce.
But and again, like, so you, in order of you saying that, or in, like, booking that abortion appointment, like, that soul's not gonna die and hate you for that. You're not gonna push it. It's gonna be like, okay, I'll come back later, see you soon. You know, it just goes away and I'll come back. Like, it's not like you're diminishing it from being born. You're just saying that it's not time. And as women, I think we're very intuitive in knowing timing.
But the problem is,
and understanding
with birth control is that you lose your intuition.
Yeah, you do. You lose.
Because it's rewriting who you are chemically, you lose that intuition. At least that's what I found, because I was put on it for quite a while, and
and again, the amount of neurons that we hold in our stomachs and guts, not just as women but as humans all in general, we carry the same amount of neurons as a cat does in their brain, which isn't as much as our brain, and it's actually more neurons that we carry in our heart. So we carry that many neurons in our gut, and that's why you think from like years and years ago, people say, follow your gut. Listen to your gut. Oh, that red flag in your tummy comes up. That is a signal and an intuition and a form of wisdom that your body that you were born with, that relates to you in your brain. And now on top of that, as women, we also create life through here. So just being really careful about what you're doing and stopping as a process altogether.
Guys, if they're taking our intuition away from us collectively at like age 13, 14, there's a whole generation of women who don't know who they truly are.
So if you can take anything from what we've talked about today, I know it's all random and jumbled up, but if you understand it, understand that birth control is a lot more of a serious choice than just taking a pill like Advil
every day.
And Midol is a lot more of a serious choice, because you are masking who you are. Don't ever be ashamed of it, man. Because it's the most powerful thing you can have as a woman. It's
and it's also bonding too. Like as women, we're supposed to go through that and go through it together.
And that's why it's
communities,
because it's bonding. You're meant to bond. That's why when you're with people, your period can sync. It's just there.
We'll recommend this podcast so you guys can listen to.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It brings out, it's like the evolutionary psychology.
Yeah, that's I think that's basically what we were saying. Apparently.
So definitely go look at that podcast. We'll put it in the
down below. Yeah, that podcast, I sent it in my girls group chat, and I think most of the girls who actually listened to it, they were like, oh my god, I need to get off hormonal birth control right now, because and they also, you know, you can't really blame your doctors, because I think for the most part they do want to help, and they just, I guess there's more research now that we're aware of.
So many different types of drugs. How are they supposed to know all the specifics of all the drugs? You know, it's not their fault. They want to help.
It's the system's fault.
But the way they were taught is
to prescribe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of to look at what the issue is. But there's no issue with having your period. You know, it's a sacred thing. Issue. Yeah. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Was that
I
it?
think so too.
Cheers. Kombucha Talks. Thanks for joining us for another one. If you guys sat through that whole video,
yeah, thank you.
I hope it helped you in some way.
Yeah, I hope it brought you some realization.
Bye.